and they have to maintain as much of that muscle as possible even while dieting for fat loss. This means paying a lot of attention to nutrition, what they eat, rather than just how much they eat. So a complete program of bodybuilding diet has to take all of these different factors into consideration in order to be successful. Okay, given that bodybuilders are the masters of dieting to control body composition, exactly how do they go about it? What kind of a program is it that bodybuilders have discovered that gives them such incredible results? First of all, bodybuilders have a very simple and practical way of dealing with food. The human metabolism is very complex, and the body utilizes nutrients in a wide variety of highly complicated ways. But bodybuilders aren't interested in all of this. They have certain goals they want to achieve. They want to know how to achieve them. They don't want to earn degrees in nutrition. They just want results. With this in mind, bodybuilders have gotten great results treating food in the following oversimplified but very practical way. Protein provides the raw material for muscle building. Fat has too much concentrated food energy and needs to be minimized. Carbohydrate is fuel.
I always keep the fat intake extremely low, probably below 5% coming into a competition. In the off-season, sometimes as high as 10%. And then about 60% carbohydrate year-round and the balance in protein.
I'd say my protein percent in the off-season, say 10% fat, proteins around 40, and then 30 would be my carbs.
You have to always think that way. What can that food do for me? Protein gives me muscle, and carbohydrates gives me energy. Pasta gives you energy. It's good for training.
A typical bodybuilder's diet is a diet consisting of high protein, low fat. They're looking for actually no fat and high protein. With, it's a lot of egg whites, it's a lot of chicken breast, very lean steak occasionally. Some guys don't have it. Some good fish, generally some white flesh fish such as fillet of sole or orange roughy is they choose to be one of their favorite fishes. And they're looking, for vegetables for their vitamins, but, everything's steamed or cooked without absolutely no butter or no oil.
The idea that protein is important to building muscle is hardly a new one, although you'd be surprised how long it's taken science and research medicine to verify this fact. Of course, protein has any number of uses in the body besides building muscle, but trial and error experience over the past 5 decades has taught bodybuilders that you need a lot of extra protein when you do intense training, or you won't get maximum results. Actually, it isn't just bodybuilders and other athletes for whom strength and muscle mass are important who need this extra protein. Nowadays, it's been shown that almost all kinds of intense physical effort increase the body's requirement for protein. So you're just as likely to see a marathon runner or a tennis player taking a protein supplement as a bodybuilder.
So how much protein do you need? Individual requirements may vary, but here's a rule of thumb.
You need 1 gram of protein for each pound of body weight on those days in which you are doing heavy workouts. And you need 1 gram of protein for every kilogram, that's 2.2 pounds of body weight, on days when you aren't exercising or aren't exercising intensely.
There you go. Thanks, Matt. This need for protein, by the way, has nothing to do with whether or not you're trying to lose body fat. In the process of losing body fat, you're going to lose muscle tissue. So you should always keep your protein intake high to help rebuild the intracellular muscle cells within the body.
The key with you or with anybody to grow and get big and stay there is to continuously have protein in the body. In other words, you cannot eat too much protein at one time and go too many hours with nothing. The protein takes 2 to 4 hours to digest. Then it's stored in the muscles as glycogen. If you now don't eat for 8 hours, was 4 hours bringing the glycogen into the muscle, and the next 4 hours taking it away. So the muscle is not stable. So if you eat again, then you prevent the depletion.
Typical proteins that bodybuilders eat are egg whites, steak, chicken breast, fish, cooked without any fat or oil.
The body can only utilize 50 to 70 grams of protein per time, and no more. That means if you eat for one steak that's 50, 60 grams of protein, is better than eating 2 steaks, which is 120 grams. Because the body will take the extra protein and store it as fat.
Fats, or oils, which are basically fats that are liquid at room temperature, are the most calorically dense of the 3 basic macronutrients. Protein and carbohydrate contain 4 calories per gram, while fat has 9 calories per gram. Quite a difference. The human body needs some intake of fat in the diet in order to survive and prosper, but most of us get far more than we need. Since bodybuilders try to get as lean as possible for contests, they've learned to avoid eating fat as much as possible. No fried foods, no dressing on their salads, no butter or sour cream on their baked potatoes.
Even when you're not on a weight loss diet, it makes sense to keep your fat intake as low as you're practically able. So bodybuilders